All right, we got everyone ready. So as usual, 3, 2, 1, fake clap.
Fake clap.
Welcome to the AfrOtaku podcast, episode 47. I am Mr. Good Guy, aka MGG. The podcast where we talk about anime, manga, and everything else. I got the intro all confused. I'm joined here by my co-host and our guests who will introduce themselves right now.
Hey, it's Player 5. Y'all probably seen enough of me, but hey again.
What's going on, y'all? It's Jugga.
What's up, y'all? I'm back. I'm LA West.
And then to kick it off, LA West, before we go straight into the story time, tell people a little bit more about.
Yo, wait, don't disrespect my man Gramps in the chat real quick. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Hey, don't disrespect Gramps in the chat. I just got to throw that out there.
I also Gramps again virtually.
We see you, Gramps. We see
Gramps is here too. But yeah, look, Kendrick, just tell people a little bit more about who you are, where they can find you. We'll let you do it at the end too, but just give some people some context.
Well, I'm LA West, and I'm a manga creator from Little Rock, Arkansas. Still trying to work on, getting my series more popular, getting it to blow up, getting more fans, definitely. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I'm on Discord now too. All of them under my legal name, LaKendrick West. And of course, my own website for my manga, rdyubi.com. You can check my series out, and we got new merch on there.
Cool.
All right.
Without further ado, though, you already know typical podcast format. We kick it off with story time, but since you're the guest, you gotta start us off. So, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I've been watching some of the previous story times. So it's just I'm gonna let you. I know you said that y'all give questions. I'm gonna let y'all give a question of what type of story, because all my stories are good. Not trying to brag.
Damn. Okay. LA living that good life, living his best life.
On the story time. All right, that's a lot of pressure. You ready to take that on?
Yes, all of them. For me, they're all traumatizing, but for everyone else, they all enjoy.
Hey, Player 5, you got any good ideas for story time?
Mr.
Absolutely. Well, I want to go. I was going to do something wholesome for once, guys. Yeah. Wow. I just want to be a wholesome guy here. I would say, let's get a story about your most cringe anime experience.
Most cringe, as in,
or not just anime. Let's say your most cringe nerdy experience. The nerdy experience that almost made you quit the game. Like, you know what? I don't want to be around this right now.
Damn.
Ooh, that's tough. There are so many. Okay, no. This has to win. All right. I was in 11th grade in my high school. So it wasn't a basketball game. It was like during PE, but it was like a field day type thing. So everyone in school joined in the gym during the PE hours. Okay. So I saw a couple of people they were trying to dunk on the basketball goal, and a lot of people couldn't jump that high. So one person actually jumped and at least grabbed the rim and hung upside down. So one person said Spider-Man. People cheered. One person said Spider-Man. And I said, that's not how you do Spider-Man. Come on, you had it right there, but you didn't do it. So he jumped down. He was all happy. I'm like, let me show you how to do Spider-Man. So I jumped up and I grabbed the net. I could have grabbed the rim, but I grabbed the net. And I hung upside down just like Spider-Man does with the basketball goal net. So like I was on web.
That's impressive.
Everybody cheered and thought I was cool for like 2 seconds.
Uh-oh.
Somebody ran up. I don't know who it was. I felt someone jump up and slap my butt. When I looked up to see who it was, I was so shocked and surprised. Everyone was already laughing just from seeing that. So I was so shocked. I looked up to see and let go of the net without realizing.
Oh no.
Oh,
fell
you're still
face
alive today.
first. Yeah. I'm talking about not even. It was like an anime character, main character getting knocked out of the sky and smashing face first into the floor.
Damn.
Oh,
The
damn.
airdrop on
Everywhere.
him? No, bro.
And everybody bust out laughing even more.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's kids for
Did
you.
it to him.
That's-
I'm not gonna
that was
lie, I'd
only
have been
one
laughing too.
That's true. That's true. But you know, like now, I think it's because kids are like, as young adults, we're so indestructible. But it's like, you know, if like that was a grown man, your first thought is like, is that person dead? Like, you see how it transforms? Like when you're a kid, it's immediately funny. But when you're an adult, you're like, no, that person's seriously injured. Like, get some help.
No, for real. Like the PE teacher could have got like insta fired / maybe count on some charges, dependent, bro. So
No one did. And I was so embarrassed. I just stood up. I thought I would be in much more pain, but I was so embarrassed. There was only one girl. I don't know who it was. I just heard a sweet voice behind me whisper, "Are you okay?" But I was too embarrassed to look at her. I thought I was good. See, so I tried to just play it off. I tried to just walk to the bathroom and hang my head in shame. But
I'll
every
tell you.
person I passed on the bathroom was freaking out. What's wrong with you? Oh my gosh, what happened? When I got to the bathroom, blood was running all down my from my nose down to the rest. I was like, well, so much for that idea. And why didn't I feel any pain?
Oh,
Yo,
and then you
sometimes-
found out he had superpowers. All right.
origin story. Bro.
Hey, yeah, that's fucked up. That would suck. I'm sorry. I wish I could, console you a little more, but no, that sucks.
I mean, don't forget you had them 2 seconds though. Like them 2 seconds
Yeah,
were
them
probably
2
like,
seconds, I was
straight
the
heaven,
coolest
man.
person in the school.
Exactly. Hang on to those 2 seconds, bro. No pun intended. But anyways. All right.
All right, hey, that was a solid story time, but time to move into some decent news. At this point, we become the "You About to Get Spoiled" podcast because that's just what we do. That was my warning.
Yep.
So in decent news, a lot of decent fucking comic book TV shows have been coming out. We have WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Justice League Snyder Cut just dropped, even though I'm not fucking with it. But
Trash.
you know, a lot of different things dropping. So let's talk about WandaVision first.
All right.
Well, I cannot join this conversation at all, but I will happily listen to you guys talk about how great it is.
I don't think I'm gonna say that. But I will say I missed the last podcast episode. So the very first experience of WandaVision was me calling it trash. I take that trash back. It definitely was not a trash show. I get kind of where you were going with it after a while, but I am disappointed in like how it ended up playing out. And I don't want to get too privilegey on here. I feel like AfrOkon was enough celebration of Blackness. I don't want to start talking about, privilege, but I felt like Wanda had a lot of privilege in the bullshit that she fucking pulled to that entire town. And like the way she kind of was just like, oh, I'm just gonna dip now. I'm like, no, you fuck these people's lives up. And then you're like, well, I'm gonna go be a dark superhero now. It's like, no, nigga, try to fix the lives you fucked up first before you just dip.
I felt the same way, bro. I was like, if I was there, if I'm a tax-paying American, bro, I'm like, no. I get it. Y'all may not be able to capture this bitch. That's fair. But I need a nigga to pull out a gun at least and say, hey, get on the ground. Like, somebody got to attempt, bro, or I'm going to become a supervillain.
I'm saying, and I was just shocked that, like, Monica kind of supported it. Like, she was kind of in the background, like, kind of supporting, like, oh, I get that you're grieving, and this grieving caused you to just fuck up more people's lives. It's like, no, like, that still wasn't okay. Like, I get it. But it wasn't okay.
I am going to ask a bunch of probably annoying questions, since I haven't seen it. So Wanda is, I'm sorry, I'm going to call her by her, name that I know her by. Scarlet Witch is a villain, right? So I'm guessing she's a villain because she's supposed to be.
She in the middle, like she like a good person that did a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say she was in the show. A good person that did a bad thing.
100, yeah.
I'll take that, I guess.
Yeah. It's Disney though, bro. It's Disney.
Completely unsatisfied. Bro.
You know how they gonna do it. I wouldn't even call her an anti-hero because in that series she didn't hero shit. Exactly. Like she ain't saved shit. All she did was fuck some people and be like,
her mess, and she still didn't clean up her mess. Like that was the bullshit. It was like magically they try to flip it on this Agatha thing. And I'm like, no. I get that Agatha was kind of like doing some shit, but at the end of the day, a lot of that shit was still done by you. Like, so what the fuck? Like, come on.
Bro, did you have any more to say for your reasons? Because that was a whole tangent.
Yeah, I mean, just my analogy is, it's like if Superman like fucking clothesline a building and then try to like stop that building from falling. People still died, but he stopped that building from falling, and then he acted like he didn't clothesline that building at the end. Like that is the equivalent to what Wanda did for me. Was like, fuck that town up, save it, and then be like, oh, I'm sorry, I kind of fucked your town up. Bye. Like, you just did.
Yeah, I never really liked Scarlet Witch in the MCU anyway, or Vision. So it's like, you know, I don't know about y'all. I miss Jarvis.
Yeah, he was a real one.
Yeah, overall though, I would give it probably like, for the watch, for the 30 minutes, they didn't waste that much of my life. I think I would probably give the season as a whole maybe like a decent plus. It's hard for me to say decent as hell just because I was so bothered by Wanda's decision making. But I did like what they tried to set up with Monica. I was hoping that they would have gone farther with that. I think that would have pushed it to decent as hell for me.
So I'll just go ahead, unless Jugga, you are very compelled to go right now.
Oh no, I personally am pretty much in the LA West category. Have not checked out Wandavision.
Perfectly. And I'll just go ahead. So I thought it was really fun. It was a fun show. I don't, regret watching it. I think it was pretty solid Marvel like it wasn't, I wouldn't put it in the bottom half of Marvel things. I wouldn't put it in the top half. Solid middle ground. And the reason it doesn't get into the top half is because there were just some things, like you said, like Wanda was a real dick, and suffered almost no consequences. And I was a little upset about that, but I think being upset about that draws you into the medium, right? That's part of what the artist's job is to do. So I'm like, maybe this is what they want. But then I feel like it didn't feel like the typical Marvel movie that has its own enclosed story. It felt like it was like, hey, we put this out here to see the next couple stories. And I was like, I don't like that. I like it to be one full thing for me. I feel like I got one question answered, and that was like the Agatha part. But then everything else, I was like, I don't know what the fuck. We're like, I don't know what's going on, I'm like,
question for you though. Like, how did you feel about the episode structure? Because to me, I felt like they wasted a lot of that time. Like they had 30 minutes and then they would always go to this like 7-minute long like end trailer. Yeah. And then it felt like the episode itself didn't have a whole lot of substance until they were trying to like cliffhang you. And then it was that. But I wonder how you felt about that.
I feel that, and I've been saying this for a while, that shit was one movie that them niggas chopped up into 8 or 9 episodes and was like, fuck it. I don't care where it ends. It ends where it ends.
All right.
That's the episode, folks. Like, that's how like half the episodes felt like they ended, where it's just like, it should have ended here. Like if a nigga was about to say something and then it just, boop, episode, fuck it. Wait till the next week. Like, it didn't feel like it was made to be episodes.
So like the end of the series, did it at least have that marvelous storytelling in the sense that like whatever series break off after WandaVision, they will hit to like the end of whatever topics that were actually cliffhanging? Like, did they suggest that?
It does, yes. It feels that way. That you will get the other, the rest of the story in other movies. But to me, that feels like what video games did with DLC. It's like, we know you pay for this story, but you're not getting the end of this story until you pay again, bucko.
Yeah, but what happened after Vision left, Pat?
Exactly. Bro, I wanted to, all the questions you gave me, I wanted to get the answers by the end of the movie, and they selling me on DLC right now, and I'm kind of upset about that.
All right.
Okay.
So the series is over, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
No
I don't know if
season.
they're gonna do a season 2 of it, or like Player 5 said, like the points they're seasoning were like individual shows down the line / movies. But yeah, they wrapped that up. However they felt like wrapping it up.
What do you?
But yeah,
So Player 5, what was
I have to rate it. I mean, I can't really give it less than a decent as hell. Because like I said, as an average Marvel movie, your average Marvel movie really kind of decent as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
you watch, you listen to it, it engages you for whatever amount of time you watch it. So it's hard for me to call it bad. Now, if I were to be rating it with compared to just only Marvel, then I would be like, it's probably just decent.
All right.
Okay, if you miss it, you miss it. If you don't, you don't. But
yeah, I definitely think you could like if you missed WandaVision and somehow there was callbacks to it in other like future things down the road, I don't think you would need to really, you're never gonna get the need of like, damn, I need to go back and watch the entire season to get it. You'll probably just be like, okay, can you just explain that one moment? And it's like, yeah, this is what happened. You're like, okay, I got it. Next. So
absolutely.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, we can talk about Justice League. I won't call this a review because I'm not done with the 4-hour-long movie, but maybe we can talk.
I'm not watching that trash.
I'm not watching the trash boat
Here y'all
either.
Go.
And I definitely did not check it out.
Here y'all go.
What
I watched the first trash.
Damn.
My brother.
What I was saying though is, because I was talking to Jug about this last night. How I feel about the movie is this. I'm not going to push anybody to watch it, right? First of all, it's 4 hours long. So that already is going to be a blocker if you were never a fan of the Justice League at all. I think this movie is here for 2 reasons. One, if you're you want to see DC win type of person, meaning like you were like when DC was like, all right, we're rolling out our own DCU, you really wanted those movies to work. This is something that you're going to watch and feel like, okay, this would have had the potential to maybe, it's still not better than an Avengers movie, but this would have not, made us all run and hide in the background. And then I think the other part of this is that like by supporting this movie, indirectly, you're supporting, like you're telling Warner Brothers or you're telling these bigger companies, hey, when a director has a vision, let them see that bitch out, right? Like everyone who sits through this 4-hour-long movie and then comes back with a good review is telling Warner Brothers, hey, next time a nigga comes with a like idea, just leave your hands out of it. Like let that shit flow how it's supposed to flow and let people enjoy it how they want to enjoy it. So from my perspective, that's why I was like, all right, cool. As more of a DC stand and a Marvel stand, liking the dark concept that Zach Synder was trying to go with the movies, I was like, I'll put my effort into the 4-hour movie. But as I was watching it, all I got was more appreciation for the story he was trying to tell and not necessarily like, oh, hey, I need to push everybody to watch this. It was more like, finally, this is like the context that made the movie make more sense. Like they just added more scenes that was like, oh, hey, when this dumb thing happened, this is why it happened. Like here was the 5 seconds that we cut out for some random reason that explain why this happened. So I felt like it just built the world more. The unfortunate part is that after you watch it, you're more than likely, unless it's a very big wave, you're not gonna get anything back from it. Like Zach has already pretty much said, nothing's really coming of this other than I just made this shit for y'all to watch. Like if you fuck with it, when you're not getting a sequel, none of the follow-up movies are coming back unless Warner Brother magically changed their minds, which would require a big push from the community. that while I see a lot of people supporting it, I don't think it's gonna happen. So that's my 2 cents.
Good, it shouldn't. They messed their chances up.
They did.
I was halfway hyped for Cyborg, but no.
Yeah, I mean, you did spit the gospel truth right there, MGG. I ain't gonna lie to you. Really, got me thinking about that one. But yeah, I'm not watching that shit.
Hey, it's fine, bro. That one, like, I know I'm usually the pushy one to, like, come around, change people's mind. But this one, I totally understand. I'm like, when I heard it was 4 hours, I'm like, I don't think this is gonna change anyone's mind who was already like, fuck this DC. Like, you're not gonna get any of those people to watch that 4 hour long movie. This is literally for the people who just want to see DC win. That's it.
And that's not even an excuse. When I hear people complain about the 4 hours, that's no excuse. Look at Endgame. Who complained about Endgame?
That's true.
I mean, there are some
like, well, first of all, they broke that movie up into 2 parts. instead of showing you the full 4 hours. So that was the first dub. But then second, it's like, they already had a stride. Like DC, this was like Batman v Superman already kind of flopped. So it was like this coming up behind it wasn't like the same way Avengers were, where you literally built like a set of good movies. So people were already ready to go into this. This was like, you built trash. We're hoping this saves the trash, but really it also added to the trash. And now you're coming up with something that's decent and trying to convince people to watch it. Like, it's not going to pull anybody that isn't just obsessed with DC or wants to see it win. It's just not.
Exactly. I don't understand why DC thought this was a good idea. I don't understand it.
No, see, I think it was a good idea from what they're saying, like what I said before about giving these people like a chance, like a redemption song kind of thing. And plus rolling it out on HBO Max was probably lower on the cost side of things.
I'm talking about like before.
Like free content. What's up?
I'm talking about like before, like the original idea of the Justice League.
Oh, gotcha.
Do what Marvel did. Have all these individual movies and then have them all meet up. It's not a hard concept. And we know it works because Marvel proved it. DC, y'all could have done the same thing.
I think copying it would have been a bad idea.
Yeah, to be honest.
It wouldn't have been as bad as this.
That would have been tough.
It wouldn't have been as bad as this, though.
So when you say it wouldn't have been as bad as this, what do you mean?
I mean, it wouldn't have flopped. It wouldn't have been completely canceled. Just throw the whole thing away.
This is what they should have
did. Just made bad movies though. But like, if those were good movies, right? Like, why would it matter then? You know what I mean? I don't think anybody was like, Batman v Superman sucked because Batman didn't get an individual movie and Superman didn't get it.
Yeah, that was me. I said that. Yeah, that was me. Yeah,
okay, but everyone else was watching it and thought it was like that was great. So
okay, hey, this is what I would say. DC should have stuck with TV shows and poured their money into episodes because they TV shows were hitting. They could have gave them real budgets and just like, fuck it, we gonna do a TV universe. And you see Marvel, after they made their movies, now they making episodes and shit. It's like, bro, it's clearly a market. DC, you could have just said, fuck it, these movies is ass. Let's just focus on these episodes. That's what I think they should have did. That's the only way to compete. I don't think copying would have worked. And then, like LA West said, doing what the fuck they did ain't work. So those about my only options.
To me, I think there still would have been sort of a need to have some sort of Justice League type of thing. I just think, yeah, I mean, like y'all say, I agree with the points of like how poorly executed it was. I just don't think they really. I think they looked at it more from like a business perspective than a creative perspective when it came to like the actual rollout. I think they needed I don't know who the right person for that would have been, but I think they needed a creative perspective to find out how to like frame this in a way where it's not that. Because in this case, DCU is coming second place, right? And like from books I've read in the past about, that type of thing, being second, the only way you stay there really is being drastically different from like the first. Like if you look at Coke and Pepsi, they're like the same, but if you look at their marketing tactics, Pepsi never tries to be Coke. You know what I'm saying? Like Beyonce, Rihanna. Like Rihanna is nowhere like acting like Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? She's still up there. So I think that was kind of where they should have looked at it, is like they try to be different, but they just sucked at doing it. They should have found a way to really like go, how do we execute this, but make it so that we're, you know what I'm saying? Not because you're going to get compared to Marvel. And the more they try to make it similar, because that was some of the stuff they were bringing up with the first Justice League, they try to add the bright elements and the humor. And it was like, that's just going to suck because it's not going to be as good as Marvel did it. Like you already kind of set a dark undertone, and then you try to make Batman crack a joke. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm going to be confused as a Batman fan. And just like, that nigga was just murdering somebody, and now he's cracking a fucking dumb joke about his leg? Like, what?
Yeah, that's one of the big problems with what they were trying to do. They tried to make Superman dark for some idiotic reason. Literally the most positive superhero in existence. And then you tried to make the dark hero try to crack a joke. No, absolutely not.
Yeah. It was definitely, I'm never arguing with anybody on the DCU. I fought it for a while, but I can't argue with the fact that that whole rollout was trash. Those movies were not as good as the Marvel movies. If you haven't heard me admit it before, I'm admitting it now. All I'm saying is, at least as far as this Justice League goes, if you're one of those DC super fans, you're gonna watch it regardless because you're a DC super fan. And with that, all you're gonna feel afterwards is that, hey, I got the decent movie that I wanted. That's all. It wasn't amazing. It's probably not gonna change the thing that much, but you're at least gonna feel like they try to put as much respect as they could, and you kind of saw what Zach's vision was with the story. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We'll see how they respond, I suppose.
Falcon versus Winter Soldier, or Falcon Winter Soldier. I don't even know what the fuck it's called.
So
I heard that is out.
Episode?
If nobody's watched it, then we can just move on because I watched it.
I watched it last night.
You did?
I have not watched it yet, but I am hyped to watch that.
All right, you might want to close your ears so we don't spoil.
We can go non-spoilery, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think for a typical Marvel like action flick, it's doing its job.
100%.
You got a decent amount of action right from the jump. A solid amount of action through the movie. But then you also get those stories answered that you wanted answered. Well, I don't know who wanted it, but I mean, there's always been this big ass hype like, oh, the number one black hero in MCU is Black Panther. I've been fucking with my boy Falcon for a little bit now, so I've been ready for him to get his shine. Now, don't get me wrong. I was the first nigga hating on him when he came out. Oh, why they put him in here? I was mad. Hey, I grew to like him. I think Anthony Mackie does a good job.
Falcon, I've been saying that dude deserves an Oscar. I won't say why on here, but he deserves an Oscar for what he's been doing in the game. This episode did help me put more respect on him. My only issue, I wonder if this was a gripe for you too, was the shield part. My issue was like, I don't see why, especially after setting us up with WandaVision, why they so easily gave that up back to the government. You get what I'm saying? Like when he did that, I was like, oh, that must be a fake shield. Because I'm like, that shit is made of straight vibranium. Like they're not just gonna go like, oh, here's the next Captain America, even though I was shocked that that thing happened. But I'm like, we just saw the government go, hey, this guy's body is made of vibranium. Like, we're taking that shit. And then they were just like, hey, here's the shield made of vibranium, as if they were just going to leave it in a museum. And I'm just like, I don't think that's how that would work.
But I think there needs to be a strict separation. The U.S. government, who Falcon is dealing with, is not the same as like United Nation bodies like SHIELD and SWORD, right? You know, so I mean, they are all working in like a government capacity, but in different ways. I think the American governments, as shown through Captain America, are usually the bigger scumbags. And then like the governments that are like I guess working all over the world and shit like that, like shielding them. I think they are supposed to be like solid niggas with scumbags in them instead of just being like completely all, you know, scumbags.
Right.
But I think there should be a distinction that you know, a little different, but still I wouldn't let a vibranium frisbee go into a fucking, what do you call it, museum. That's not happening. Not on my watch if I'm the president.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, I don't know. And to me, it just felt like they showcased earlier, but like you said, I didn't really like pick up on that difference from the two bodies. I think I just was not paying attention. So I just thought it was the American government, but I'm just like, in my head, I was like, that seems weird that they just showed us that the government don't give a fuck about how you feel in WandaVision. And then they show us two black guys basically just giving shit up to the government like it was nothing. So I was just like, history has shown y'all that they not the best motherfuckers to trust, but hey, it is what it is. So, but yeah, overall, like you said, I think I just 100% agree with your points. It's like, it has that action movie setup. So I think I'm going to be a little bit more interested early on than I was with WandaVision, just because, you know, they got the hands thrown. I love the scene with Falcon in the beginning. I was actually a little bit surprised at how finessey those guys were in the air. Like I was a little bit disappointed at how long he was like tangling them in the air until the helicopter showed up. You know, when they like jumped out. I was like, bro, you can control yourself in the air. They can kind of control themselves in the air. You feel what I'm saying? Like, bro, and it was definitely dodging them. So I was like,
I felt that way too. But then I was like, at the same time, the fan part of me was like, yo, this my man, why y'all doing my nigga like this? He need to gun these niggas down in like 2 seconds. This don't make no sense. But then the realistic part of me was like, well, they do need a reason to show off this nigga powers. It's not like everybody fuck with Falcon. Most niggas probably just know him as a background nigga with wings.
Right.
So it was like, all right, let's show what he could do, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a cool little aerial battle.
Definitely down for that. That sounds like I'm gonna enjoy that part.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that little fucking first person shit had me feeling sick. I wasn't good with that. I was like, y'all gotta take those scenes out. Because I was like,
wow, come on, bro. Those are dope, dude. Come on.
That shit had me feeling sick. I don't know, fucking 4K HD. That shit too real.
The shit with Winter Soldier also was funny to me. I like that they added the humor to his and like more of the seriousness to Falcon. So I kind of like that therapy thing he was doing with the chick. Yeah. That scene made me laugh. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Bro, my man Winter Soldier had me feeling sad, dog. I was like, because like I knew his story is fucked up, right? Everybody know his story fucked up, but because he wasn't like the main focus of any movie, he was like the side character or the thing they got to get. You didn't want really thinking about it, but now he's a good guy, and they framed the story from his perspective. I was like, yo, I feel bad for you, bro. Tony ain't had to try and kill you.
Damn, what happened to them two New York kids jumping on a brother?
Yeah, they was some grimy New York niggas beating mugs up, but now I respect why he was so grimy, bro. Like, you know.
But yeah, I mean, that's all I had for Falcon. Like I said, I think it's a good start. They doing the weird storytelling thing with WandaVision too. I think Disney just like playing around with their 40-something minutes. Like all these shows be like, the episodes like 40-something minutes. It felt like it was a little bit longer than WandaVision because WandaVision had that like 30-minute thing, but you really only got 10 minutes of content and then a bunch of credits. I felt similar to this, but with a little bit more content added in. And then that stuff at the end, just keeping it quiet. But I definitely was like looking at Falcon and I just like empathized with his situation because I felt like he was looking at it from 2 degrees of like, wait, y'all really did that? And there's like, y'all know it was confused. Y'all know it was me. Like y'all know it was supposed to be me. Like, but you gonna really try and do that shit? So
that's just something from the trailers. If you've seen the trailers, you know that some other dude ends up with the shield at some point.
Oh, okay,
you know what I mean?
So yeah.
I didn't know what was going on there, but
yeah,
I am. So is it a movie?
It's a TV show,
It's a TV show.
It's a show.
but
Yeah.
it plays like a damn movie.
I did not know.
Wait, so how long's the first episode?
About 40
40-some
minutes.
Okay.
Okay, well, I didn't think it was going to be a show. All right, well.
Yeah, no, but it's shot really well. Like they put money into it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was seeing some CG in there that was looking little ripe, but he definitely, like, when I saw it, I was like, okay, they rolled out the big bucks for
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it regardless. It ain't gonna be like WandaVision. I'm gonna watch the crap out of that.
Yeah.
All right, so last thing is in anime news. Jung, you want to take that one?
Oh, sure. Wanted to bring some highlight to the up and coming Netflix anime show Yasuke.
Thank you.
Looks like everybody already knows. That's going to be highlighting the first samurai of African descent. It's going to be produced by, y'all already know him, Mappa Studios, so you know the animation gonna be hot. And it's gonna be created and directed by the producer LaShawn Thomas, who is a part of The Legend of Korra. So we do got some big hitters up in it, and looks like the main voice of Yasuke the Samurai is gonna be Lakeith Stanfield from Get Out, if you remember him. So it should be mad decent. Looks like it's going to be 6 episodes released on Netflix in late April. And I mean, hey, we got, a black protagonist, and he's going to be talking, and they're going to be talking about his samurai days way back in the day. So it should be mad decent. So just wanted to highlight that one.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it. It seems interesting, and I think I saw something on a decent spot of people tripping over it, as usual. Don't know why.
Oh, the
Get over
natural
yourself.
hate, but it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Get
you
over
would think
yourself, haters
that,
on the
like,
internet, like,
right. Like, I'm hoping right now is that, like, the fandom from just Mappa Studios brings over a lot of kids in the first place.
Yeah.
So with what they're doing with Juju and like AOT, it's like, bro, like, Mappa ain't gonna mess with no non-bangers anymore. Like they got the rep now. So, bro, like, this is gonna be hot.
So what was the series?
Oh, say again?
Yasuke.
The series?
It's just gonna be called Yasuke. Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to remember. I'm gonna have to make a note of that.
Oh, when it comes out on Netflix, I'm sure it's gonna be one of those titles that come up when you open it. So
I sure hope so.
But yeah, that should be mad decent. Keep your eyes open.
All right.
Yeah, I had a friend recently was just telling this guy's story. Can y'all hear me? Some weird stuff pop up on my
No,
screen.
you good. What's up?
All right. Yeah, I had a friend that was telling me about like this guy in real life. Apparently, apparently it's a real dude,
Yeah.
I didn't know that before that, but yeah, he was telling me about that a little while ago, just the person himself. So I kind of got a little, I guess, speed run of his story, and I think it's gonna be exciting. Especially if they trying to, keep it accurate or whatever. But
I mean, it's all supposed to be, or at least more or less, historically accurate to that sense. So no, it's mad legit. And I didn't even know, but I mean, like, he was a samurai for like one of the actual OGs, like Nobunaga, I think. So I mean, it's not like he was just, like a basic samurai, like, he was a samurai for Oda Nobunaga. Like, so I mean, he's like legit. So yeah, that one should be decent.
Oh wow. Yeah, that made me even more interested. I didn't even know that. That's good. All right, well, on to the anime segment. I don't know which one of these topics we want to talk about, but I will let someone pick that.
okay. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about some of these first couple ones up here. I just real quick putting some respect. Next week? Class 1A versus 1B. Class 1A versus 1E would be a funny fucking arc, but Class 1A versus 1B arc.
Oh, in the anime, you're saying?
In the anime.
Oh, okay. That should be
okay. So that's about to be pretty lit. I know they don't.
I don't know.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
You don't think it's gonna be good?
After season 4 and the disappointment of season 3, I mean, I'm hoping it'll be good, but My Hero just been falling.
So this is what I got to ask you. what did you like about it in the beginning, and what don't you like about it now? And I think I'll see if I can tell you whether or not you'll fuck with this.
Absolutely. In the beginning, Bakugo. Oh my god!
needy.
Blow up everything. But also the whole rivalry, the evil Vegeta. Because I do got to clarify which Vegeta. The evil Vegeta counterpart. I want to be better than the main character, but I don't want to be completely evil. I'm still a hero, but I did bully this kid. Come on, I'm better than him. Everyone should know I'm better than him. I like that. And the very subtle rivalry that Bakugo was always a tiny bit better than Deku, but Deku's gonna eventually catch up. And of course, the eventual Deku will get better at using One for All, and eventually would get better, would catch up to All Might. And All Might would still be here to be still be the symbol, hold the mantle till Deku's ready. That was in the beginning of the series. Great material to work with. And honestly, since season 1, they just started to like waste their potential. And with every season, it's just proving to be true. And I'm just watching this downhill spiral.
Damn. Were you about the overhaul arc at all, out of curiosity?
Overhaul. The first episode of season 4, dope. I actually approve of that, because I'm just gonna say right now, they're trying to build this league of villains, and Tomura Shigaraki as the main villain of the series. No, he's not the main. Look, I mean, he is the main villain, but trash. He's a trash villain. He's always been a trash villain.
I can't disagree with that.
I think you'll have to wait for quite some time
trash
before he gets better.
Yeah.
I love what Overhaul said in episode 1. Overhaul's like, so you're the League of Villains leader? Okay. Yeah, I want you to join us. If I join you, what do you want me to do? We're gonna kill All Might. Why? Cause I want, which has been Tomura Shigaraki's plan this whole time.
Yeah.
Every
something,
season.
I think though, that's the point that they want to make. They want everybody to believe and get to the point where you believe, Tomura Shigaraki is just a waste of a character. But I can tell you this, it's going to be a while. it's going to be a while, but he gets a little better.
I like what Overhaul said to him. He's like, so you don't even have a plan. You're just a kid with a tantrum.
Yeah.
I have an actual evil plan. Why should my organization help you? And then they clashed, and both of them killed one of each other's men.
Let me put it like this. Let me put it like this. As far as just to wrap the Tomura stuff up, it's not gonna get better in the next season.
Yeah.
You already hate it. You're going to get really frustrated with what he does next, and then right after that, you'll be like, all right, I guess I can put a little bit of respect on his name. But since I'm assuming the Redestro shit has not happened in the anime,
that's right.
No.
You are going to be like, what?
Yeah, there's gonna be some times where you like, Tomura need to fucking quit. This nigga needs to quit. But if you hold on to this train, bro, it's coming.
Yeah. Oh my God.
At least as far as the Deku power-ups, at least as far as the relationships with Deku, Bakugo, All Might, and that whole tangent, I think you might get a bit satisfied in this upcoming.
No. What All Might's dead. All Might.
Oh, you ain't about All Might, period.
Oh, you talking about All Might's powers? Because All Might is still around.
Between Deku and All Might as a character is dead to me.
Wow.
The potential, all that is gone. I know that they're trying to. I know that they did talk about it at the end, after it happened in season 3. They did try to save it. No, I'm sorry. The damage has been done.
Ooh.
The fact that he sacrificed the last of his power for literally no reason at all.
I don't know about that one.
The whole point of the fight was to make sure that they get Bakugo back. And by then he was already saved. Even All for One is like, okay, fine. I admit we lost. Just let us, people are dying, hero. People are, do your job. No, I must stop you here and now.
He put that nigga in a jail cell.
Oh my God. Huh?
He put that nigga in a jail cell, 20 to life. He got it, boy. He's not coming out.
Who here has seen RDC's episode 5 of Anime House?
I haven't seen that. I haven't finished it.
They one of the things they say is literally what I say. What kind of anime villain gets arrested? First off. Second, what the freak is getting arrested gonna do for All for One? He still has all these quirks. Hey. Who here thinks that All for One's gonna stay in jail?
Look, all I'm gonna say, and this is not related to Monoma, but shout out to Josh for bringing back a real nigga, which is Monoma.
Real
that nigga, like he needs so much more shine and everything.
That's true.
Monoma, this is my favorite character. He's the guy that if he touches you, he can copy your quirk. He was in the festival. He copied Bakugo's quirk and Red Riot's quirk.
Right.
He's the kid from Class 1B that talk all that shit.
Lots of shit, bro.
A pretty good character. I'm interested to see more of him, but we don't get more of him.
That's what we said. This next season, you're about to get more of Class 1B.
You're about to get a whole kind of new respect for Class 1B in general, period.
But I don't want new respect for Class 1B. I want new respect for Bakugo, who is just...
They put a little splash of respect.
Yeah, I think
season
direction. But are you looking for power development for Bakugo or character development? Because he does slowly start to get character development.
Both. Season 3 ended so good with Bakugo, I actually cried.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're finna move real forward with Bakugo. He failed the exam, but he beat Deku in the fight, and even he wasn't happy with that. We're finna move forward. He's finna learn something powerful. It's finna get good. Season 4, Deku is taking on the Yakuza. What's Bakugo doing? All right, here's some grade school kids.
Well, this season for sure, you'll put respect on Bakugo's name. Bakugo put the team on his back. So he's this 1B versus 1A battle, Bakugo was one of the stars. I'll put it that way. So if you're looking for Bakugo respect, you'll at least get that.
All right. I'm not excited.
You'll get respect on every member of Class 1A will get some type of respect put on their name. So no matter who you like, they may not be a winner, but you'll get some respect put on everybody's name.
Did Graders get respect though?
Bro, don't disrespect like that, bro.
I don't remember what respect he got.
Loki made a good point.
I just don't remember what the respect he
Somebody got gummed up. Somebody did.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So somebody. Okay, that's great.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Icy Hot.
Come on, Icy got put in work.
Bro, yeah. Come on.
It's gonna look fire.
Don't send people off, bro. You sending people off.
He fell off too.
Look, there was some respect.
In comparison to everyone's respect, Icy Hot gets the least, but he does get shine.
My man, he the only one that get disrespected. If we honest.
Come on, but think about
that's because they set the bar too high too fast.
That's the author's fault. I will always blame the author.
Scale-wise, I felt like. Oh my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like the author's storytelling is just trash. All he does, like Deku gets everything. So.
Oh well, yeah, you ain't gonna like this one then.
That's what I was thinking.
It's over. Yeah, it's over with, boss. You ain't gonna like this one. We might as well keep it moving. Yeah. You might as well drop My Hero, bro. Drop it. It's over with.
He said that, but that's usually all main shonen. No, it's not. Absolutely not. I can name 3 main characters off the top of my head where the main character can still be the main character and plenty of side characters get a ton of shine, and you can see why people like them.
What's the 3?
Saitama. Just off jump, he was just the first person came to mind. Saitama.
Okay.
Yes,
he got all the power.
But look at all these other great characters that get seriously good shine.
Okay, that has to happen in his show. Give me I don't count that one.
No.
Who's number two though? Who's number two?
That's my point. It's good writing.
Who's number? Yeah, we gotta see who number 2 is.
Yeah.
I mean, no, this ain't a ranking. This ain't in any particular order.
No, I'm just saying, just name your second one.
Ichigo.
What?
Great main character.
That I gotta go
know.
Bleach really got their shine?
Yes.
No.
Okay. How many times has Uryu gotten his shine?
We're talking like the first.
Uryu never lived up to his true potential. If you look at the fights, like if you're talking about who Ichigo fight was up here,
Uryu beat a captain. Uryu beat a
down
squad
here
captain by himself.
You said what?
Single-handedly.
Say it again.
And then of course there's the squad captains. Renji has beaten members of the Espada. So has I mean of course like some of the captains Byakuya.
But the Espada member that Renji beat was a combination with Uryu.
True.
He also got saved. They almost died. Mario saved them. Mayuri saved them.
And I was about to say, then Mayuri came back and saved them. Not Ichigo. And then Byakuya beat then let's not sleep on any of the top 3.
Hold on. Are you just saying screen time, or are we saying actual development as a character or their powers? Because
nobody in Bleach got
extra character development or power development.
Chad never lived up to his full potential.
You hated Ichigo in the beginning of the series.
Chad never lived up to his full potential. They gave Uryu.
Chad
you're gonna argue with me about Chad living?
No, come on.
Come on, man. Chad I didn't expect Chad to get nothing.
What?
Okay, so you basically set the bar so low that they're all
set the bar low.
Or you thought Chad was gonna get nothing?
To see anything.
I did. I honestly did.
Chad was one of the main guys.
He was like F1, F2. I mean, he was supposed to be part of the main squad almost. I mean, he invaded Soul Society.
Still.
Did you read the end, or are you anime only for?
No. I have not read the end. I'm waiting for new anime to come out.
Okay, so at your part, you stopped at the Fullbring arc. So the best thing that Chad did was he punched a previous Espada, and then got murked by number 5, who kind of murked Ichigo, and then got murked by Zaraki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was it. In the land, mind you, in the land where he basically said, "Oh, I'm feeling a stronger connection to my powers here than anywhere else." And he didn't even really win against a real Espada. He won against a fake Espada, got a power up. As soon as he got that power up, he got dropped.
That's true.
Immediately afterwards.
That's true. I didn't expect that. That was kind of.
I gotta hear who number 3 is, because two don't count either, bro.
I'll let you have Saitama.
Because you enjoy seeing these characters on screen, so it definitely counts. And I mean, now I can name more, but I'm of course I'm gonna name number 1, Luffy. Duh. Hands down.
Bro, they had a whole arc where Deku didn't even show up, and you like, how are we comparing this?
And how many people enjoy that arc?
And I love seeing Red Riot. My favorite hero is Fat Gum. That was with Fat Gum and Red Riot. That was lit.
Are you talking about Red Riot was the arc?
No, I'm talking about like when they were doing showing everybody's training. They didn't show Deku's side training.
That wasn't an arc.
Well, and my hero considers it an arc. They do their little arcs real quick.
That was a couple of episodes.
Hey, you don't have to call my mans that make it and tell him that. Because I ain't the one that's cutting these up. You feel me?
Problem.
I ain't the one cutting them up.
The person making this doesn't know how to tell a good story. He's got all these characters, and people like these other characters, but they're not being used. One Piece, there's literally a whole arc where all the Straw Hats eventually become their own main character.
But you're talking about a show that has almost 1,000 chapters.
No excuses. No freaking excuses.
What you mean? 300 chapters deep. One Piece wasn't that.
I'm just saying, like, eventually, I'm just saying, if you're writing let me put it this way: if you're writing 1,000 chapters, or something, he's been writing this shit for over 20 years. at a certain point, he's gonna realize, like,
Mhm.
yeah, I've done way too fucking much with Luffy. 20 years? If he was able to keep up that same repetitive storytelling for 20
but the
years,
thing is, he
I would
didn't
be
just
like,
make
what
it
the
up on
fuck?
the spot though. He
Huh?
built all these characters up and he leaves hints to let everyone know.
Look,
yeah, I had a plan from the
I'm
beginning.
not gonna argue with the side character development in One Piece. You get that, but the Bleach, I cannot get at.
You enjoy
like,
seeing them.
None of those characters
You
were
enjoy
fully
seeing
developed.
these other characters in Bleach.
Huh?
Is that not true?
I feel like what my thing is, what I'm noticing from what I'm hearing is it seemed like for every anime besides maybe One Piece and I guess One Punch Man, you set the bar so low for character development that as long as they're shown on the screen and have one fight, they're like, yep, that's the most developed they've ever been. And I'm like, no, there's
I agree.
More layers to that.
I can give another. Okay, how many of y'all seen Food Wars? That's another.
I watched Shokugeki no Shoma. I've seen a few.
That's
episodes.
another one.
I haven't.
This dude said, "Ew." Hey, Food Wars is dope. Food Wars is worth my money. In fact,
so yeah, Food Wars does do that, but it's like a sports kind of storytelling.
Still
like
counts.
so
Sports anime do
freaking
that.
counts.
Huh? I don't know if we qualify that as like shonen though.
It's definitely shonen.
I think that's like a sports anime.
It's a fighting show, but it's with cooking.
Yeah, I see the storytelling in that as like one of those shonen adjacents where it pulled in the shonen audience, but like with shonen storytelling elements. But technically outside, it's like a mashup, kind of like a shonen mashup with, I guess, sports or slice of life, whatever you want to call.
So you ain't see the scene when someone made that food and it punched that judge in the face?
No, I've definitely seen it.
But it didn't
like
actually get punched though. It was like a, you know, we tasted the punch.
Yeah.
I like the show. I guess
Yeah.
my thing is just I'm not seeing any pure shonen, like meaning like your Naruto's, your whatever, your Bleaches, your one those popular
Look,
whatever.
Naruto
just
didn't do a good
strictly
job
fighting
with their
shows.
side characters.
Huh?
Naruto didn't do a good job with their side characters.
Yeah, horrible
Yeah, we
job.
know that, but I don't know how you
But
can say
they
that
did
about
better
Naruto,
than
but
My
not
Hero,
say that
though.
about Bleach. You feel me? Like
That's crazy.
That's
Like,
true.
if you can agree that
Okay.
Naruto's side characters were developed, you definitely got to see that in Bleach because, I mean, the whole first part of Naruto, like Chunin exams, like we got to see a bunch of side characters throw down. They got a whole bunch of individual fights, but yet at the end we're saying
Yeah,
that they
Chunin
were
exam brought a lot of people in onto the show. But I'm gonna say my problem with Bleach, or I'm gonna say the problem in general with Bleach, is not with the character. This is why I say Bleach has great side characters. The problem with Bleach is that the story wasn't necessarily there, which is hard to do. It's hard to make a show where the story is still engaging, where you want people to care more about, you want people to care about the story, you want some more of the story, but at the same time, the characters are just so enjoyable. That's what I mean. These characters are enjoyable. The main overall story in general is what I believe is flawed in Bleach,
No,
because it
them
doesn't
niggas
necessarily draw
ass.
you in.
Them characters was ass, bro.
I
Come
mean,
on.
like
You giving hella hype to Bleach.
I mean, this
You
all
love them.
started.
Hey, Bleach.
This all started because I mean, like, just one real quick. This all started because of the non-hype, non-no screen time, non-no progression in Boku no Hero side characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think, as far as to why we're all on the other side of the argument with you, LA West, is that when comparing at least Bleach particularly, it's practically equal, in my opinion, or at least at the bare minimum, right after you see this next arc. Because again, people, I mean, like for one, all the other heroes in 1A have gotten at the bare minimum a tad bit of shine, just like most Bleach characters too, or at a bare minimum, again, the power levels that we've seen of those side characters don't really change that much throughout Bleach, if you really think about it. So it's more just like, we're still tough to really see the difference of Boku no Hero and Bleach, other than the fact of maybe how you personally like those Bleach characters more than Boku no Hero, which at least me personally is close to pretty equal also. So I'm just not seeing the difference there.
Well, there's one big issue, or there's one more big aspect of how I decide this, of how I choose, which is the biggest difference. And that's how these many characters are introduced. That's a huge factor as well. In Bleach, okay, maybe y'all don't like all the characters that much in Bleach. Maybe that is the case. but how were they introduced? We didn't get them all in episode 3.
But
We
see,
got.
I mean, but
when
Bleach,
you're talking about,
I mean,
wait,
you
wait,
talk about Bleach captains. Bleach captains were
second,
practically
though, 1 second.
introduced.
Yeah,
at the same
I
time.
brought captains in too, because eventually captains become like okay, if you go to conventions, how many people do you see dressed up as Bleach captains?
Honestly, I don't know.
Or as Espada members?
Not that many.
I don't think that many.
Niggas don't fuck with Bleach.
Maybe
that
not
hard.
anymore since Bleach got canceled, but like back when Bleach was still hot, no, there were plenty
sure.
of Bleach cosplay.
Anything that's hot gonna do that though.
Right.
That's true, but my point is they were dressing up as characters that did not come in episode 3. These characters had a proper introduction.
Let's let MGG go real quick.
Let me just go back to the introducing part. So is your point like how they were introduced, meaning like just how many got introduced at a specific time, like quantity?
Yes.
Okay, because for
they
me,
got thrown at us.
So for me, when you say how they were introduced, right, I look at what they were set up to do in the story, right? Uryu came into Bleach set up as Ichigo's rival, totally flopped that. Renji introduced in the story as Ichigo's rival, totally flopped that. Chad supporting the group, not introduced as Ichigo's rival, but introduced as a nigga who hard worked his way into powers. And then it kind of just flopped. They rock lead the shit out of him. Like they would just put him against people that he couldn't fight and he never got his true shine. And I feel like in My Hero, what we see though is how these people are introduced. Even though it takes them a long time to kind of touch point on them, when they're introduced, they touch point on them and develop their story. For example, Momo, confidence issue. They talk about that confidence issue. Next time you see her and she gets a character arc, it's a development for that confidence issue that they said was her issue, right? Red Riot, once we finally learn about his backstory, it's about being like a true hero in some way, shape, or form. So when he got his little shine, regardless of how he got dropped, he still was like a hero moment. He provided that nice little window for Fagum to kind of like come back and turn up. So to me, it's like when I hear that, if you're talking about just the quantity, then I don't know how to debate that. But if you're talking about how they're introduced, I can argue those points all day as to like Naruto's same issue. They set up all of these goals for the side characters. And then when they kept returning to them, you just slowly saw that fading away. Like Rock Lee never be like, the first time you saw him, it was like, okay, cool. Hard work ninja, and he's showing us he could rival the mains. Next time you saw him, it was like, okay, this nigga broke his leg, but he came back and he's still going against the strong nigga. And then the last time you saw him, like, where the fuck is this nigga at? Like, he's fighting himself.
Where was the guy we got introduced to?
Right, so.
Okay, that's a good point. I personally disagree with Uryu. I believe Uryu is still Ichigo's rival.
Bro, I think if we go back to the episode, this nigga said straight up, like, Shinigami, Quincy, we don't fuck with each other. You my rival. And then for like the first couple of arcs, it was always like this rivalry thing, like this tsundere, I don't want to help you, but I will. Bullshit.
Yeah, I'm down, and I'm down with that because it's at least the tsundere, to me that still counts because at least he's still acknowledging, look, I'm not supposed to work with you. He still does in the end, but at least he somewhat halfway acknowledges it until, of course, later on, now he's pretty much, he doesn't acknowledge it as much anymore, but that counts as character development in my opinion. Now, as for the others, okay, I can't deny that, but I was going to say, fine. All that is true, and that's a good point as far as like what they were introduced and what they were meant to do. But again, that goes back to what I was saying, the story flop. That doesn't mean the characters flop, because I also look at how well they stay in character. And in Bleach, they stay in character pretty well. But I do see your point, because in My Hero, usually they stay in character. But another issue, like what you said, okay, when we see the character again, then now they get some character development as we see them. My problem is, yeah, but when do we see them? Usually when Deku's around. So it's kind of hard to look around Deku to see what they're doing.
But how is that not true in Bleach? Like every arc is triggered by Ichigo. Like,
it's triggered by Ichigo.
You're not gonna see these niggas without Ichigo doing some shit.
Yes, but it's not like, okay, we need Ichigo to like take care of the villain that's right in front of us.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
No.
I think that's kind of Shonen MC status, though, right? I mean, like when you see a big main villain, the MC gonna take him. I mean, like
yes, and that's
time,
fine.
So.
The big main villain, that's fine. I actually don't even mind that. Like if Deku ends up like, okay, perfect example. I go back to Naruto every time with this. How many big name villains? Zabuza. Was Zabuza not the main villain of the first arc?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I think so.
Did Naruto beat him? The main character. Did he beat Zabuza?
No. Yeah, I guess in a way, Haku ended up shining more of a light.
Haku may have been the strongest person there, yes. Haku behind the scenes, but no one knew about Haku. Haku didn't have clout. Haku was there because of Zabuza. Zabuza was one who was the person behind, why the mission was so dangerous. Zabuza's name is why it was so threatening. And Zabuza was the threat. Haku was Haku was the secret weapon, and Naruto took that out. Yes, that's a good way of having the main character take the shine. That's fine. That's subtle. I like that.
I wouldn't call that subtle, but you know something? We might be able to argue about this forever. Yeah. I think we should probably move forward. That being said, we have an anime segment thing that we could talk about that would involve Bleach, has fire in it, and might be another way I could think that Bleach isn't that great. But so y'all, MGG, you want to talk about the fire guys thing?
Yeah, so hopefully people can see my screen, but basically we saw this. I think it was posted in a decent spot, and let me see if I can get what the question was.
Oh, that's dope.
I don't even think there was
there isn't even a question around here. It's just showing these things, so I don't know if
we should just do like what, strongest or best fire user, or
yeah.
like, what do we want to do?
The what it was posted under, at least the person who I posted asked, like, basically who will win in the hands here.
Oh, in straight hands? That's it?
Well, let's already take Ace out. I'm sorry. I love Ace. Okay. I do. But Ace already lost.
Sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Because Natsu is
and that
here.
means Roy also already lost.
Yeah, no, Roy gone.
No. Well, I don't know about that.
What?
All right. How is Roy?
Okay, we got to hear him out.
Here's why I'm saying Ace loses automatically. Because Natsu is here.
Okay.
What does Natsu do?
I mean, all these niggas shoot fire.
Facts.
No. But the reason Natsu automatically wins against Ace is because Ace is made of fire.
Okay.
I mean, he can choose not to be as well.
Those are facts.
He can, but his body is still natural. He can turn it off. But even so, like the devil fruit turns his body into fire at its core.
When he chooses to turn it on, he not just like Natsu can't just bite this nigga arm off in human mode. No, I'm not going for that one. He can lose because hold on.
That's a tough one. I don't know.
No, he can't. No way.
See what you mean? So I mean, if you think about it, I'd be like, okay, imagine if someone sneaks up on this kid and shoots him. I mean, like, it's gonna go through him as fire. So I mean, I kind of see it in that sense, right?
Yeah.
If he's sleeping, some nigga shoot him, it's gonna go through like fire.
Yeah. That's
exactly what we're saying.
He can't like.
I mean, it's weird. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I think that's technically true. So. But I want to get back to Roy, to be honest.
Specifically called out.
Okay, he said Roy is a regular human with regular strength. That's a good point.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just the message said Roy is a normal human with regular strength. So I was like, that's a good point.
No, I mean like LA West. I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, like using that logic with Natsu, okay. But for the next one, I want to talk about Roy. If you think he actually has a good chance.
I don't know how this nigga.
I don't know. I don't think he does because, like you said, I
think Roy and Ace are instantly slept.
100%. Like snoo, like
honestly, like
I don't see it. Like The simple power scale, like not even counting fire. We're talking about physical feats of everyone on this list.
Matter of fact,
Roy and Ace should get insta-drop.
Roy is literally a lighter compared to niggas who are literally towers of fire, countries of fire, continents of fire, and Roy is like that's.
Now,
I don't see it.
let's
Here's my problem
I think
with
we
Roy.
about to have different answers for who's the last person standing. Completely different answers. Because I've been seeing this online and I've been seeing the chats, and nobody has said who I think is going to be the number one here. So I want to know who do y'all think is winning?
All right. So I mean, again, just for clarification for us and the audience, we are purely talking about fighting with hands. Yes?
No, like they fire in their hands.
Oh, so we're incorporating everything about these
All
characters.
their powers.
Who would be the
combined.
last? Who would be the last one standing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then there's
okay.
no point if we take out the fire. Like, what is the point of this debate?
No, I had to be sure. Because I know some people were just talking about hands. At some
okay.
point. I mean, if it was not the
All their powers that they have at their disposal.
All right.
I mean, I got mine if y'all need time to think.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to say Yamamoto as well, but I'm not sure. Okay, actually, I don't think Yamamoto would be the last one standing just because I think it comes from the Zanpakuto, not him. So
no, he has a Zanpakuto.
No. Like, give him his Zanpakuto. Give him his
all his
Zanpakuto.
powers.
Give him his Bankai.
No, I know he's got it. But what I'm saying is once that mug is broken. So what I'm saying is, just for that reason alone, I'm going to say Natsu or Marileona. Marileona is a close between those two. I'm gonna go with Natsu. Okay, I final answer. I'm picking Natsu.
All right.
Okay.
I will say for me right now, the things I'm thinking about the strongest right now is Natsu, Yamamoto, or Benimaru. Only reason why Benimaru's in my mind is because I think he has pyrokinesis.
Mm-hmm.
So since him and Natsu basically eats fire, Benimaru has pyrokinesis. I think that's shutting down most of these niggas. Now, why Yamamoto's still in there is that he burns the hottest out of everyone here. This nigga burns as hot as 10,000 suns when
I agree
he has
with
his
that.
Bankai unleashed. So my question then becomes, can Natsu eat fire that hot? If it's just magic and it doesn't matter how hot the fire is, then Yamamoto's done. And can Benimaru control fire that hot without being burnt? Because I still think the temperature may play a role in this because Fire Force seems more science-y based than it does magic-y based. So I feel like Natsu, niggas might just amp that up to magic, and then Fire Force, I feel like the temperature will come into play here. So that's why I just have kind of like a three-way between those three. I don't have one for sure, but I don't think Marileona can tangle with fire that hot. So I feel like she's gone because of that.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and insert my opinion here because we had some similar things. I'm happy that you brought up Benimaru because he was the one person I saw people not fucking with who I believe actually will win. But before I get into that, I want to put some respect on Marileona. Her fire, especially in this picture we got here, which is her most current iteration, that's like natural fire. Like she is turned into magic itself. I don't think you can burn her. You know what I'm saying? That's like, can you burn a fire at that point? But that's also why I think she would get smacked. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm just like, that's one of them things where it's like, who the fuck know? But the reason I put Shinmon Benimaru, Captain of the Seven, put some respect on my nigga, OG, triple OG. The reason my nigga winning is because his pyrokinetics is very specific. That nigga shut off fire. The reason his place get fucked up, not because he can't save everybody, that's because he like fucking shit up. If that nigga wanted to put out your fire, he can. So all these niggas' fires are out. And then after that, he can solo a demon level Fire Force. They demon shits. Y'all know, I can't remember the name right now. Infernal. He can solo a demon level Infernal. And by lore, you need like a Dola burst fire and he's not a nigga with an Adola link. He just swole. And Adola burst fire is like fire of creation, at least several times stronger than a nuclear blast, as one Adola burst fuels the entire Japan. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my man really out here smacking out nuke level fire blasts and can turn your fire off. And outside of that, he really got the hands. Like, he cleaned.
I don't
But he
remember
had
the
the speed.
turning the fire
Does
off.
he have
I
the
don't
speed?
remember that.
He had comparable enough speed to see what you call it when he did his first like light speed blitz. He can see it. That nigga wasn't trying to kill that nigga. So I mean, I don't. You take that for how you want. He was able to interpret his movement when he was moving at light speed, and then on to second to that, even after I can't remember the main character's name right now.
Like Benny up.
But even after he got his light speed and stuff like that, people still consider Beanie Maru to be the strongest Fire Force soldier, you know, period. And then you see this nigga clapping niggas that they be struggling with.
Okay. I got to see how fast Yamamoto is, because other than that, like, your points make sense. I would agree with.
They do
him
make
being
sense.
the winner. My only thing is, like, once you take the fire out, the question becomes who can fight him hand to hand. And to me, from this list, maybe Nacho. I don't know what Nacho's high end speed is, but I know when you fuck with Bleach niggas, they speeds and attack shit get out of control, and that nigga's still a decent swordsman. So you gotta think about that. So yeah, it says sub-relativistic for his speed, according to the Versus Wiki for Yamamoto. And let me see if they got Benny Maru's in here.
That's fuck. That's tough.
I mean, that's fair because these niggas be flash stepping.
Yeah.
Like,
And like he's
Benny Maru's speed is at least relativistic,
I figured because he could see a nigga moving at light speed.
possibly
So
speed of light. So then that would make him faster than
Yamamoto.
So then I can give him the dub with that, unless Natsu is some type of crazy ass speed.
Natsu, but do Natsu got his friends? Because I think if Natsu got his friends,
Yeah, no, Natsu's slow as fuck. Massively hypersonic plus. Oh no, they put relativistic in there, comparable to post SPT human form Agnoli. So I guess end thing, their speed is comparable. So it's really Benny Maru and Natsu on this shit.
Yeah, because remember, when after he eventually didn't fully tap into his END, but remember, freaking
I mean, he broke at a stop time. He broke
and
out of
Natsu
that
still
shit.
beat him somehow.
Yeah, Natsu beats him on strength though.
It was cheese.
Striking
I'm not gonna
strength.
sit here and lie about it.
Oh no,
It
we
was
know. You good. But
Yeah, striking
I mean, that's a
strength.
good point though. I mean, if we're talking about all powers, technically the power of friendship does apply. So
It's looking like Natsu's taking the dub for me. That nigga's striking.
I gotta go.
Level.
I gotta go
with the
Beanie
speed
Maru.
thing. I know you're talking about with the speed thing with Beanie Maru, but again, Natsu beat somebody that had not only could stop time, had time stopped with Natsu in it, and Natsu still beat him.
I mean,
That power of friendship crazy, bro.
it really
The
is.
power of
I
friendship pack. Wow.
haven't seen anything stronger yet.
I think Benny Maru's gotta be a strong second.
I mean,
if he's not
fuck.
first, he's definitely
But
second.
and I gotta second that because man, along the internet, niggas been going like, don't get me wrong, fuck with Mary Leona the most. She the coolest character, but everybody been going Yamamoto, Natsu, like Mary Leona, which are all okay, but like you gotta put some respect on my man Beanie Maru. That's all I ask.
He definitely gets respect on Fire Force, right? Like Fire Force, when Benny show up, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Not enough people watching on it. If you ain't watching, watch it.
All right. All right. Anything else from the anime segment you want to talk about, or are you going to just move on to the manga?
We can move on. I mean, I'll just drop this in here. We ain't gotta have a discussion about it. But Black Clover manga is on the anime ass. Them niggas in 2 days, the devil binding ritual is popping up in the anime. Like, bro, that just happened. Like,
I thought it was about to end.
No, I mean, that's
got
why
to,
Black
cause
Clover is
shit.
ending. I'm telling you.
they got the
That's
devil
why it's
binding
ending.
ritual. Like,
Yo, they tripping.
yo, they
That's
just
all
gonna say
you
fuck the manga, bro. Put this shit straight to the anime.
Well, I hope they don't go Promise Neverland route with it, because I heard that shit is going.
Yo, that's a whole
I heard that
conversation.
shit is
bro.
going full left on season 2.
Season 2 is crazy. I mean, they're ending the series. I don't think there's going to be a season 3.
I have not watched season 2 yet because it's not dubbed. You know, I watch English dubbed. So, but I have heard.
Oh no, trashy trash. Like trashy trash, and that they like okay, three big things with season 2 of Promised Neverland. Skipped everything, wrapping it up garbagely, and this is the final season, at least based on how they're telling the story right now. So
In 2 seasons,
what?
wow.
All the
Exactly.
Promised Neverland
No,
haters-
exactly. That's
So
the
all the
point.
Promised Neverland haters that were out in the comments when we posted are like don't read the manga or various Promised Neverland is not good videos. And specifically saying that the first part was okay, but everything after was trash. Hey, bro, I just want to hear what y'all got to say now, because I don't think
Right.
they saving that bitch, bro.
Motherfuckers was on our head. Promised
Right.
Neverland is going to be the greatest anime ever.
Right.
See,
Like,
and
no.
Interesting.
I hate him.
It's crazy.
Look, that makes me so angry. Yes, I enjoyed Promised Neverland. I enjoyed it. But I'm not saying, what is going on with all these people talking about new anime shows like that? All this overhype. This is the greatest anime I've ever seen, and it just freaking came
Pump the
out.
brakes, right?
Yeah, but I think like I'm starting to realize more and more, like, one, there's a lot of new anime fans, and for them, they're having like their Naruto discovery moments of like absorbing a piece of content that they're having an unknown moment. You know, like when you find out some shit that you didn't know you were supposed to know, and it's like this aha thing. Like I felt like that's what it was for some people with Demon Slayer and Promised Neverland. They just didn't know cartoons could be good, right? Like that it could appeal to an adult audience. So when they watch those, they go like, "Oh shit, I didn't even know that was a thing." And then the overhyped beats start coming out. Or like Silent Blaze said, recency bias, like where people are just like that. But then also I go back to the young age too, because like now I'm a different guy. But at 15, 16, 12, you probably would catch me overhyping some dumb shit back in the day. If you talk to me about Naruto, I might have been trying to fight you saying it was the best shit ever. But now as an adult, I've come to realize niggas ain't really grow them characters like that. You feel me? But
These are facts. Anyway,
it is what it is.
Yeah, I do.
All right, on to the manga segment. So before we get into talking specifically about chapters, and side note, if you're not caught up and don't want spoilers, you may want to mute if you read My Hero, Black Clover. I guess
Okay, I don't.
That'll probably be the only two. And then
Do said bye. All right, if I mute.
I think you would only mute your mic, so you may
That
just
would
want
not
to turn
yeah,
down.
I think you have to literally turn your volume off.
And then we'll
right,
summon you back when we get to MVPs and Goofies. But for the manga segment, I just want to put some respect on some chapters that are out. Like MASH has been doing really good. Kaiju number 8. I'm thinking after these couple chapters I read, it's finally probably going to get that anime hype it deserved. They just going through a nice little fight arc. It's starting to pick up. Bill Kings, I don't know if he's picking up because that shit is about to end or not, but they just made a strong left turn into some action. So I'm just saying, like, you know, be mindful that niggas may start hyping some shit up pretty soon. It looks like, I don't know if it's just the time or the season, but a lot of these newer series are starting to like find their pacing and get their story. So shout out to them. And yeah, I've been reading this new series. Well, not new series, I guess it's old, but a fan recommended it, Jigaraku. It's been a decent read. So if you guys are looking for some new stuff, I think that one might be completed, because where I'm at, I haven't finished it yet, but it looks like it's gonna be a complete story pretty soon. I don't know how they're gonna stretch it, but yeah, that's it. Anything else y'all wanted to put respect on as far as manga or anime goes?
Absolutely. I wanted to put some respect on chapter 306. Boy, My Hero.
I'm gonna put respect on it.
Yo,
Was that great? Is it lit for you?
I like Deku out of there, bro. I'm liking that.
Oh,
I was hoping it would be out of the country. You feel me?
It fuck around might be, because bro, this is what I'm gonna say. I haven't seen nothing to prove that or say anything about it. But when Deku is standing on top of that building, one, that invokes very much the American style.
Yeah.
And then two, the buildings, like with the type of like buttresses it had, that's not a Japanese building. Like that's like an American style New York building with like the eagles and shit like that. I'm like, bro, he's sitting on top of a building with eagles on it. If that ain't America, bro.
I mean, if it's America, I'll take back what I just said. Then fine. Right. But I don't feel like they would go that far. But F around, okay, I can see that. I mean, I'm personally just seeing I don't know, like based on how they're wrapping it up. I was talking with a buddy with it not too long ago, and what he thinks might happen, which I would despise, is that if they go out searching for him, the rest of the squad, class 1A.
Oh, go searching for Deku?
Exactly. And I would be like, oh, if they do that kind of BS, it'd be so pointless. What I'm really hoping, but because it's still uncertain right now, but I'm hoping that this is where the time skip happens. I feel like they set it up where they can literally be like, yo, Ish is at least starting to get on the right track, little time skip, Class 1A works on themselves while Deku leaves. He comes back stronger, maybe a little bit more drama, get into a little bit more character and depth with the relationships that he has, as well as the heroes coming on back, making it a little bit more organized. Deku comes back, Shigaraki starts up going again, and then we can like close out at least this one arc, quote unquote, or whatever. That's what I'm at least hoping for.
The P5 theory.
So, well, I mean, with right now though, if they actually choose to go it different and like they're still keeping it current, no time skip, and these guys are just worrying about Deku, they go out searching for Deku and like go into some BS, it'd be like, bro, what? So yeah. That's why I wasn't really feeling this chapter hardcore, just because of the heavy potential of it going into a direction that I'm just not feeling. Granted, again, well, if Blerd 5 says it's true and they switch it a little bit in the sense that he actually went so far to go out of country, that changes the game.
Awesome perspective. We'll see. That's all we can do.
I think it's great setup. And then the only thing I would add to it is just like all the stuff before was lame. The Endeavor stuff was dry.
That's true.
The like what they were trying to like kind of set up as far as the next thing, I thought it was kind of funny because I was like, I don't know if he's trying to parallel the COVID situation with the like, oh, everyone's gonna go and try and move in these hero buildings. Like I was like, so the niggas is going on lockdown for villains? Like I didn't know it was that serious. Like I know they out there, but it seems like, you know, villains like crime's been a thing, you know, but whatever. So that part was a little bit odd to me. And then obviously, you know, the Endeavor shit never means anything to me. Fuck that nigga. So I was kind of just like, whatever.
Yeah.
But definitely good setup.
And then the other thing that I thought was pretty neat, Black Clover has just been pretty cool overall, but I liked that we got Nox's background finally.
That was a good twist.
Yeah, that was a little twist. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I was like, huh?
It took me a second to get it too.
When they wrapped it up with this one, I was like, so you guys still didn't really explain how the switch, so to speak, happened. But I'm very curious.
I mean, like at the end, I don't think it's a switch. I think he just took his name. I mean,
no.
I thought, at least that's what I thought.
So this is what I saw.
No, bro.
It was
Nox is in that nigga body.
No, what?
Well,
that's what you thought? Okay, so we need to talk about it because I think y'all niggas went like, whoa.
Right, go ahead. What did you from it?
I think it was just straightforward. There was a twin, Noct and Morgan.
Okay.
Because Noct wanted to be like, you know, the out there boisterous 10, he dyed his hair white because we saw there was a picture where he was a little boy with dark hair, right? Yeah. So he dyed his hair white. Wanted to be extra. He doing some goofy shit, trying to summon super Lucifers and shit. His brother gets killed, and after his brother is dead, he like, yo, I'm gonna dye my hair black, join the Magic Knights, and try and do some good like my brother. I don't think it's like no body switch. I think it's just them niggas twins.
See, at first I didn't. I think I didn't pick. Well, I picked up on it, but I didn't pick up on it at the same time. When you say okay, it makes sense. I see he absorbed his just like turned back into whatever he looked like. Because at first I was just like I just saw him looking different, so I was like I thought this nigga took his body and then took over himself. But then I guess it makes sense more. So that means Yami is aware. Because that was gonna be my follow-up question was like, is Yami aware like who this nigga is? And then it's like, okay, now it makes sense. So yeah, I get that. I thought it was still a good little backstory and twist and really great world building for the whole demon society, because now we also got that thing about the three demons that are like kind of like the kings of the world, gravity, space, and time. So my question also comes back to gravity magic is Lucifero's joint.
Yeah.
But the other two are not related to those.
That's correct, I think.
So technically Dante has the strongest demon.
Zeno's demon was never named, and we know Zeno's demon got space magic. So Zeno's demon could be.
You're right. Fuck. No, that's right.
Could
I was thinking on the
guy.
bones. Okay.
But that would mean that Magicula is, if that's the case, Magicula definitely not one of the
the three
main, demons. So
okay, if that's the case, then yeah, I mean, I wish we were back at these wars, or I would just make up in a war, but I'm gonna just make up one now. Black Clover for I'm giving Black Clover a random award for basically being able to I literally just lost my train of thought. It just came to me and then I lost it. Fuck. It'll come back to me later. Just move on. But that shit, what they're doing with the that's what I mean. So for being able to fool me into thinking that Dante was the main nigga, like that Zeno clip to me has been the craziest shit I've ever seen. It really made Dante look like this nigga was gonna be the most important, and then Zeno was like, nah. And then it's funnier because it's like he's still giving that shit to because that's like main rival. So he's still subtly saying like, is that nigga. He got beef with the strongest of the three. Like it was like he still subtly hold Asta and his relationship in the fact of doing that. It was crazy.
No,
he on it with my boy.
Clover, bro.
Clover. We've been saying it.
No, they've been going hard.
Yeah, but that's all I gotta say about it.
Same. We can move on to MVPs and Goofies for this episode. So LA West, you can hop back on. We can start with you if you want.
He might have turned his things down.
Right.
I had to type it.
Messaging. Okay,
I will go ahead and give my MVP and Goofies of the year or week. Sorry. So MVP of the month, I guess I would say I gotta give it to AfrOkon. I'm taking that first. This was fun. I've enjoyed the panels here more than like most of the panels that I've been to in real life. So I'm fucking with it. Good shit. Yay us, yay me. We did it. Good job. AfrOkon. My Goofy of the month. That nigga Jack the Ripper bum ass.
Damn.
Hey, Deuce owed me some money or something. I know we bet it. We was like, this nigga Jack gonna get up. Ooh, that nigga still snoozing. Just remind me for the next podcast, bro. Deuce owed me something. He gonna have to admit on camera I was right.
God.
That's all. That's it. Me being petty.
I'm gonna start off with my Goofy with an asterisk, considering that Player 5 did make a good point, but still want to just reiterate my issues with Deku as far as leaving, at least as far as the potential of that ending up badly. But again, to say Player 5 did, have that note in my head that's like, ooh, if he's in America, it could actually feed into that whole All Might kind of training theory that we were talking about earlier. So low key, that would be mad dope. So right now, I'll give him like a tip Goofy, but I will correct that if that ends up changing. For MVP, I want to actually take this time for a hot second to give some big ups to MGG, just for putting and like doing all the work, all the focus, all the dedication, all just the time that I know he spent for AfrOkon 2021. This wouldn't have happened without him 100%. So good job, my guy. Big proud of you. And it's been a delight working with you ever since, and can't wait to do more. So big ups to you.
Thank you. I guess I'll say mine then. So I definitely would give MVP to just everyone that came out, helped, and supported for AfrOkon. I think more than just whatever I try to create, I think it's more important that people believed in it and supported it. And I just thank everybody that attended all the panels, all the panelists that showed up and gave us time. I mean, like, we're a relatively small podcast. We reached out to a bunch of people, and the people who looked at it saw that it was probably like our first time doing this and decided like, hey, I'll still fuck with it. I think was dope. Thanks to everybody on the podcast, like Jamal, oh my bad, Player 5, Jugga, Deuce, Gramps for helping plan all the way through. I really appreciate that. And you know, everyone else who supported, like significant others who came on and sat through. Shout out Gramps' wife, who's due pretty soon. And you know, just general thank yous there. And then now to get back to the manga stuff, Goofy, it's actually not gonna be anime or manga for me right now. I think what I'm gonna say, because I wanted to say it in the last episode but wasn't there, I have to give it to the Flash. Like, when I was like last month, I was watching a lot of DC animated films, and I just couldn't wrap my head around how the fuck they get Flash every time. I'm like, you definitely see them about to trip you. Like, they always trip this nigga, and I'm like, you definitely can perceive the trip. So you're just playing, like, you're just on some Julius Novacano shit. Like, fuck yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get tripped, because I'm like, there's no one, like, unless I've seen the movies where I've seen him fight other speedsters is the only time I'm like, okay, I get it. But every time else that he shows up, they get him with a trip. And I'm like, first of all, it's happened way too many times that you don't know that this is what they're going to do. But at the same time, you think and move way too fast to get slipped up by the trip. Like, I would be, if I was anybody in there, I'd be like, how is this nigga Flash on the floor? What?
Bro, I gotta add to that because I was just rewatching like Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
And you know, my man Quicksilver gets shot with a bullet. So, and we see an actual thing where he slow-mo watch a bullet move. So we know how slow that bullet is. So he had to like get in the way and then feel it slowly hitting him like, ow, are you done yet? You know what I mean? Then get shot and be like, make a cheesy one-liner and fall. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you doing this as a speedster, bro?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wes, you got any MVPs or Goofies that you were thinking about recently?
Said MVPs or Goofies?
Yeah, just anyone that that you've been watching on anime, reading in manga, just anything as far as what you see in the nerd community that you would say, yo, that was mad dope, or like you said in your head, and then like, yo, that was mad goofy, like what you doing? Like any of those characters or any of those people come to mind?
MVP will definitely goes to, you know, y'all, the AfrOkon and reaching out to me. I definitely appreciate that. And, you know, doing something in 2021, just, I mean, I know last year was tough for everybody. So, I mean, honestly, this was like one of the first things I heard of that started this year. So y'all just trying to get stuff back to, I mean, probably, I don't think anything will ever turn back to normal.
Sure.
But the fact that y'all are trying to like get back to get all of us, the community, back together where we can continue to support each other, that's dope.
That's what's up. Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
As for Goofy, what do I think in the anime industry is Goofy? Oh yeah, definitely. The crap is this nonsense. Yeah, I call this different kind of Goofy. What's this nonsense about? Oh, Demon Slayer is now the best anime. Demon Slayer is now, it officially made more money than One Piece. Excuse me?
Dude.
Okay, maybe that is true. But that's so stupid. Why the freak did a movie push it over the sales rating of One Piece? Are you kidding me, audience? You know what? When my series becomes an anime, y'all better be on this overhyped stuff. Y'all better overhype my series.
And I'll be talking about how you develop them characters too. So you better make sure they got some development.
On it with you.
If they ain't got no Bleach, if they got some Bleach character development, best believe we gonna be on this podcast talking about it. About Rocket Driver U, we gonna be like, hey, I don't know about these characters. They're not getting developed.
Go ahead. I accept all challenges. I'm trying to be One Piece. I'm trying to be One Piece level storytelling. All right, so.
That's good. I mean, it's still just wild, bro. Like the Demon Slayer movie became Japan's top grossing film. Like
what?
I can't stop thinking about that. Like that's mind-boggling. That's
my
crazy.
friend actually read the manga, so he knows what the movie's about. And I'm like, wait, so the next part is so short, it's a movie? He's like, yeah. And I honestly don't see why it's so popular. It's not that great. He didn't say it was bad, but he was just like, yeah, I mean, it's not like, oh my gosh, it's going to be the top earning.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to describe Demon Slayer
of all time.
Yeah, just like that. All right, good stuff.
Thank you so much for attending all of these events at AfrOkon and hanging with us for this. I don't want to say last because it makes it sound like it's the last episode ever, but this most recent episode of the podcast live. We'll obviously, as usual, roll it out to YouTube's and the other proper channels. Look out for various recordings of this as that comes through. But once again, thank you guys for supporting. Here's to some future AfrOkons. I don't know when, but maybe sometime in the future, we'll figure it out. Other than that, though, I'm about to take a long nap.
All right.
Most deserved.
Yeah, we all deserve it. So, all right, y'all.
All right, people. Thanks for joining us. Until next time.